Friend insults me over past uncle, gets exposed for all the bad stuff she did. So, longish one here, and it's been some time so I don't exactly remember the dialogue. So, as a backstory, this happened when I was in the equivalent of junior year of high school. I became friends with a girl 1 year older than me and soon we grew to be like sisters, doing stuff together all the time and being generally like sisters. Might I also mention that at that time both of us were into stuff like Reiki and weird sorts of spirituality and the occult and stuff like that, and me being the edgy teen I was at that point was incredibly happy to have someone share my interests. When my junior year started she was a senior and met a guy at college admissions prep who she apparently immediately fell for. Of course she introduced him to me and him and I took to each other almost too well. BF is the boyfriend, D is my friend. BF and I started to get along marvelously and being the stupid kid I was of course I fall for him hard, but I hid it and decided that I would be the better person and eat my feelings since he was her boyfriend. So I kept it friendly and basically developed an iron control on my emotions, which to this day is both a good and a bad thing for my mental health. Over the next 6 months D had become obsessed with him, increasingly jealous and pushy with both of us and was basically making both our lives hell. She was calling me for hours sometimes just complaining about how BF has the emotional range of a teaspoon, other times raging and crying, and at that point I was stuck mediating between D and BF on a daily basis, almost to the exclusion of everything else. I recognize now, years later, that she was incredibly emotionally harmful to both of us. While being a generally offensive twat and psycho she was also very horny and flirty and about a couple of days before stuff hit the fan she made out with a classmate of mine in front of me while asking me not to tell her boyfriend. One day soon after BF calls me pissed off beyond belief because he and D got into one of their arguments which after half a year of relationship became explosive in nature. He wanted to leave her since he was tired of her bull stuff and she threatened to delete herself. I don't remember exactly what had triggered the argument but what I do remember was that I was feeling so damn guilty about not telling BF what I had seen. He was one of my best friends after all, and I was put in the situation of either covering up her cheating or risking a big meltdown. I chose to tell BF that I think she's just crying for attention since she made out with so-and-so the other week and he went mad. Like seeing red kind of mad. He thanked me for telling him what happened and said he'd go to her house and break up with her and that he'll keep me posted. An hour later I get a string of angry texts from her that I betrayed her and that I should stay away from them and all sorts of belittling things. BF also blocked me on her request and told me to stay away and so I ended up the villain and feeling like I wanted the earth to swallow me whole. After a few days of being sad, a few girls from my class approached me at a party I couldn't dodge out of and asked me what's wrong. After telling them what D had done they were the ones who convinced me I did the right thing and that I wasn't the villainess which she made me look like. You can imagine how pissed I was after giving my all to her and getting jack stuff in return so I started plotting revenge. The first step was contacting her ex who I knew she hated, going out with him but bailing like a chicken because I was still feeling guilty. That didn't work, I was a weakling and made up with her and suffered a few more months until summer came and the three of us went on a seaside vacation where stuff really hit the fan. I booked a couple days extra after they were supposed to leave and on their last evening, while at a restaurant, I got a call from my parents telling me to not come home early because my favorite uncle had passed away and they were going to his funeral. I was distraught and went to my hotel room while D said they'll just drop by their room and come stay with me since I wasn't feeling like being alone. Guess what? She got horny and did it for 2 hours while I sat alone crying my eyes out. When they came D wanted to do some pharmaceuticals, got incredibly high and started arguing with me and BF about some stupid spiritual stuff she saw while on her trip. BF was already pissed with her since on our second night she got poop-faced silly and flirted with everyone in the club, so him and I decided we wanted to go to the beach and see the sunrise. She came too, arguing with BF and me the whole time until these stupid words left her mouth. D, BF, I cannot believe you are arguing with me and Yumi, stop whining, it's just some past guy, get over it already. What the F did you say? I stormed off in a rage, with BF running after me afraid I'd do something stupid in my altered mental state and she kept sneering and complaining. I can honestly say I blacked out of rage at some point because I can't remember what she said that made me punch her square in the damn face. I got home the next week and started looking for a way out of this sham of a friendship. D didn't even apologize for the stuff she said and I had had enough, so when a mutual friend reported that she was making out with some guy at a party I immediately reported it to BF and the same thing as before happened with both of them blocking me. F you and good riddance, I thought, but boy oh boy karma served me a true opportunity to wreak havoc not long after. Fast forward 6 months I was in my senior year, kept my side of mine and D's mutual friends and was dealing with what I know now is my still severe sadness when guess who calls? You guessed it, Misty sobbing on the phone because BF wrongly accused her of cheating with a friend of his. "Oh, but of course I'll help," I say, not mentioning that I'll help get her exposed if anything. I wheeled and dealt, called favors, pretended to be friends to people and generally was a pushy witch until I got the information of what exactly she did and wasn't telling me, that she actually cheated with 7 blokes. 7. Not 1, not 2, 7. I was flabbergasted to say the least. Through a bit of clever usage of computers I even got convo transcripts and made sure BF found out everything. I told him every single dirty thing she did with a grin of satisfaction on my face, and then as the nice girl I was held him back so he wouldn't delete her. I do believe my thoughts were on the line of nobody deletes her before I can make her suffer. Just peachy, I know. I somehow convinced him not to kick her butt into Kingdom Come and instead arranged a meeting in the KFC next to our school where BF wanted to make up with her. I told Dee that I had convinced him of her innocence and he agreed to get back together, and she was so relieved I worked my magic again. Little did she know I didn't have to drop by the post office when I told her I'll go ahead, run an errand, and meet her there, but that I went ahead, got all of our friends there to witness and plastered a whole section of KFC with screenshots of her lewd conversations with various blokes. BF was also there, almost murderous, waiting for her to arrive. After a bit of a wait I had the honor of witnessing the most glorious sight ever. Dee walked in, all happy and hopeful in her tiny cheater soul, and her face instantly dropped when she saw me, her now ex-boyfriend and everyone in her group of friends from high school waiting for her surrounded by proof of her shenanigans. That was not the only thing that dropped though, since as I was reveling in the look of utter betrayal on her face she proceeded to pass the out. I didn't even care what happened after, it was enough that she saw me there, looked at the predatory grin on my face and knew I was behind it all and had dispossessed her of the one thing she cherished most, her BF. It was worth the almost full year of mistreatment and the couple of months of manipulation and lies to see her fall. Years after she even apologized sincerely when she realized what drove me to this revenge plot, and now we're civil, but now she knows she should never, ever, cross me. Hi guys, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Well done. Having the friends there to witness everything was just icing on the proverbial cake. Can't lie or manipulate her way out of that poop sandwich. 2 food analogies. I might be hungry. That's exactly why I made sure there were a lot of witnesses, some of them who love to gossip. She kissed the last remnants of her reputation bye-bye after that, and had dispossessed her of the one thing she cherished most, her BF. I mean, if she cheated on him so many times I really doubt he was her most cherished thing. I really don't understand people like her. At all. Me neither. She was completely obsessed and possessive, but when it came to her, she was of the opinion that she could do whatever she wanted and nobody could tell otherwise. Damn, you are one scary person. Also really nice revenge you got there, mate. I'm generally nice and caring and the kind of person who would bring her loved ones the moon off the damn sky, but when I get crossed and people take advantage of my trust, let's just say I toe the line to psychopathy when I get even. The sweet revenge of manipulation and KFC. My favorite. Fine with your revenge, and when you put it on Papa it's fine, but when you say it out loud it sounds kinda insane. There's a lot more details that I left out. It takes me an hour to tell this story normally. Damn, I'm both terrified and in awe of you. She had it coming. Did you see the workers throwing haymakers at the chicken while throwing in 11 herbs and spices? I'll tell you something. Good job. This has gotta be one of my favorite stories on Reddit simply because your cheater of a friend and BF really reminds me of people in my school right now, and they are very important people in my life. If I were your dad I'd buy you something like a new phone.